What's up, guys? It's Noah here from the Digi Bros, and in today's video we're going to be bringing you some gameplay footage of two of the bigger decks out of the BT6 format. We got Jesmon on the right versus AguBond Bond of Bravery on the left. You know how I feel. Red best deck. Let's get right on into it. So the AguBond player is going to go and start by hatching the Demi-Meramon, evolving into the AguBond out of the starter deck and drawing a card, and it's going to pass by playing the Mia out of BT6. This is the one that allows you to warp into the Bond of Bravery. So passing on over to the Jesmon, we're going to evolve the Gilmon into the starter deck Greymon, followed up by the Savior Hookmon, passing 2 back over to the Bond of Bravery player, and go on and promote, gain memory, and draw a card off of that tie. And now we're going to be going into, looks like the Geo Greymon. Once again, this is outside of the Gallantmon starter deck that has the security effect. It gets played, and on play you delete an opponent's Digimon 4000 less DP. So he's just going to go in and swing into security, hitting that starter deck Greymon, but he's going to be up to 8k from both the AguBond and the Demi-Meramon. But we're just going to end the turn by playing another Mia, passing it on over to the Jesmon player. He's going to swing the Saber Hookmon into the Geo Greymon, and then we're going to be able to draw a card from the Gilmon Inheritable. Once again, that Gilmon is out of the Gallantmon starter deck as well, so these are the post starter deck decks. So we are going to evolve on up into the Jesmon, passing the opponent with just 1 memory. Jesmon is definitely a terrifying card, so the AguBond player definitely needs to answer it. There are a ton of option cards in the AguBond deck, whether it be Gaia Force or Happy Bullet Showering. Those are really the only ones that are going to be able to take care of it. And yeah, we see the Happy Bullet Showering come down now, being able to delete the Jesmon, putting the opponent on 6 memory. So we're just going to go and hatch that baby Demon. And Jesmon is pretty far behind now. The AguBond does have 2 ties set up along with a AguBond in the raising area. So we're just going to go and play down the Hookmon, adding both another Hookmon and the Sistermon Seal to our hands. Hookmon is easily like one of the better rookies of current format, being able to add 2 cards, whether it be Sistermons, any of the Hookmons, and your Jesmon. Just him being able to go +1 in card advantage, so being able to add 2 different cards, and the fact that he can add himself, so you can be able to evolve himself into the raising area. Really, really good card. So we're just going to evolve all the way up to Savior in the raising, passing it on over to the AguBond. Then we're going to push up the AguBond, gain 2 memory, and drawing 2 cards. And then we're going to use the effect of the Mia to evolve into the AguBond Bond of Bravery, trashing the top 2 cards of security, swinging using the effect to delete that Hookmon, and trashing top security, and then swinging for 2 more. We're going to hit a tie, and we're going to hit the Groundmon. Once again, that is outside of the Gallantmon starter deck. Really big push for the AguBond deck, being able to knock the opponent down to just 1 security. But the Jesmon player is going to start with at least 3 memory from that Mia that was hit in security. So we're able to evolve on up to the Jesmon during the Jesmon player's turn. And it looks like the AguBond player is just looking on what they can do. Looks like they're just going to go in and play a Marcus, passing the 3 memory back over to the opponent. So we're just going to promote the Saber Hookmon, evolving to the Jesmon, drawing card. And we're just going to go in and swing here, looking to play a Sistermon from either the hand or the trash. Yep, we're just going to go and swing, looking for that Sistermon. And we're going to be able to pull the Sistermon. I believe it's going to be Blanc. No, Sistermon Seal out of the trash, not the trash from the hand, but then we're going to restand, thanks to the inheritable of the Savior Hookmon. But we're going to run straight into that Gaia Force, even if you did have a delicate plan, because he did have to evolve into the Jesmon this turn. He wouldn't have the memory. He did gain the memory back from the Sistermon Seal, but he had already swung at that point, so delicate plan wouldn't have been able to help him. So now we just have the Sistermon Seal, and honestly, Jesmon isn't looking at a great spot right now. We're just going to go and throw down that Blanc. With only 1 security left, there are a ton of different options that the AguBond player has. Really, he can just sit on an AguBond in the raising, and the following turn you can push it up, go into the Bond of Bravery. He can also just go kind of wide, throw down a couple bodies on the field, and Jesmon won't really have any kind of response to it. I'm not sure if they are playing the Atomic Blaster or not. That is a really good card outside of the new Gallantmon structure decks once again. So we're going to go and throw down the AguBond Expert on the player on the left side, being able to add back the Bond of Bravery. So that just guarantees that the Bond of Bravery is going to come down the following turn. And the AguBond player is going to do that Atomic Blaster, being able to destroy both Sistermons on the field. So this game is pretty much sealed for the Jesmon player. He's doesn't have any like real response to be able to answer the Bond of Bravery coming out next turn. The AguBond player is going to start with at minimum 5 memory, 3 from the Marcus and 2 from both ties. And you can throw Sistermon, like maybe 2 Sistermons, Blancs, and like a Hugmon or something, but we just don't have the memory for that. So it looks like we're looking in the hand. It looks like we're just going to hard cast that Save Your Hookmon, hoping that security is going to be able to save us. But with the Agumon Bond of Bravery that was added to hand, it's just going to be able to attack, destroy the Sistermon, trash top card security, and go for game. So once again, this is going to wrap up game 1. It's going to go into the Agumon right here. Unless they... Now it looks like they're just going to use Red Reamer to destroy the Sistermon, and swinging with the Agumon. I don't really like this play, because if it was like Gaia Force or something, it could have destroyed the opposing Agumon Expert, but then he had a ton of memory left, so he could have went into a Agunimon to be able to swing for game. So that's going to finish up game 1. So moving on into game 2 between these two red decks. Once again, red best deck. You guys know how Digibros know here feels about the red decks. So we're just going to be setting up for game 2. This is a really, I don't want to say scary matchup for the Jesmon, but it's definitely not an easy one. So this is a going second format, so the Jesmon player does opt to go second. So the AguBond player is just going to go on and evolve the promo Agumon followed by the promo Greymon. This card is so important within this not just this match, but within this deck. That card's so good, being able to get so much tempo on your opponent. It's going to be 8k swinging for 2 checks on your second turn. And against fellow Bond decks, it's going to be really good to be able to hit 2 of their security. And whenever they do warp into their Bond, they're trashing the last 2, and then the Bond of Bravery can just come in, swing, pop 1, trash the last card, security, swing for game. So the promo Greymon is definitely very important within any of the Bond of Bravery list. Just helping, maintain that pressure and that momentum. So we're going to be able to lift both checks, hitting both the Bao Hukmon and the Sistermon. Once again, use that 8k from both the Agumon and the Demi Miramon. Where it looks like red or Jesmon isn't too set up, they have the Sistermon on the field, but the Geo Greymon from the Gallium Star deck is going to come down, be able to pop that Sistermon, leaving the opponent with 5 memory. So the Hukmon is going to come down as well, going to be able to crack the top 5, add any Sistermon, or it looks like there's only one Jesmon target that he was able to hit. So right now was not looking too great. So the following turn, red AguBond has the potential to like swing for the last of their security that the Jesmon player has, because that Greymon is at 8k when attacking, but it's only going to be 5k during the opponent's turn. So it looks like we don't have any level 4, so the Gilmon's just going to be able to swing in security, hitting the new Agumon outside of the Gallimon starter deck. And it looks like we're just going to play the Sistermon Seal, being able to memory choke the opponent, because we're going to gain the memory back on play from the Sistermon Seal. But this is pretty already established board. We do have the security attack +1 on the Greymon. Once again, he's going to be at 8k. So he's going to run into the Judgment of the Blade, be able to play a Sistermon Blanc from the trash, gaining the draw and then adding the card to hand. And so the second check is going to run into the new Gallimon, being able to destroy that promo Greymon. But he has done a ton of work. So the Geo Greymon is going to swing in security, but it's going to be blocked by the Sistermon Blanc, not the Blanc, but the Seal, because he did get blocker from the Blanc, because they do control the Hukmon. And then we're going to finish that off with the Atomic Blaster being pulled to destroy both the Blanc and the Hukmon, leaving it to a simplified game state. Moving on over to Jesmon, we're just going to evolve that Gilmon, evolving into the Bao Hukmon, following up probably by Savior Hukmon. Yeah, so we got the Saber Hukmon here. It's usually best for the Jesmon players to go on and like evolve all the way up in the raising area, so that way they can bring out the Jesmon, being able to swing for huge numbers. So we do see the Agumon Expert being evolved in the raising area, followed by the Tai Kamiya. So Saber Hukmon does get pushed up, knowing that the Tai is on the field and the Agumon. You cannot warp Agumon Bond of Bravery on top of Agumon Expert, so we're not really worried about that this turn. So we're just going to go for a security check. We're going to be at 7k DP, running into the promo Agumon. We're going to live that easily, so we're just going to follow that up by the red memory boost, cracking open the top 4 cards of our deck, adding a red Digimon amongst them to our hand. And it looks like we're going to add the Jesmon. The red memory boost has definitely increased the consistency of Jesmon. A lot of the deck wasn't that consistent beforehand. but we're going to push up the AguBond Expert, gaining a memory and drawing a card from the tie. Tie and Matt are both super good. And we're going to follow it up by a Gravity Crush, gaining 2 memory. No, looks like not going to do it. Looks like we're just going to hold on to that. But we are just going to evolve into the Promo Greymon. Once again, this Greymon will not have Security Attack +1 because that is an AguBond Expert and not a Digimon with AguBond specifically in name. But he is just going to run into the security. It's going to be the Starter AguBond. And it looks like that's going to be another Atomic Inferno to be able to destroy that Savior Huckmon. So this game is basically solidified for the AguBond player. Jesmon, like they could go like Huckmon into a blocker to try to prevent the Greymon from swinging, but this Greymon is just put on so much pressure in this matchup. Maybe we can see like a Blanc here, the memory choke, but this security attack +1 Greymon being at 8k has just been too much for really Jesmon handle. It's just way too fast in comparison to evolving all the way up to level 6, while the whole time they're just doing huge damage on the security, and they do have their own option cards to control the matchup. So looks like we're going to trash the red memory boost to gain the additional 2 memory, maybe evolve all the way up to Savior, play the Seal back, gain the memory, and drop another Blanc, so that way we can have 2 blockers, so that way we could stop both the Greymon, yep. But it looks like we do not have the Savior Huckmon to go into the Blanc, and yep, so that's just going to wrap up the game, guys.